everybody, welcome back for another episode here on the Darwin's Room channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate your support as always. Today we're going to be talking about the life of Chuck. This is directed by Mike Flanagan and is actually based on probably the most optimistic novel by Stephen King that you will have ever heard about. This stars Tom Hiddleston, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, and Mark Hamill in this moving story about how we as individuals experience life. I was really looking forward to this film. I had heard extremely good things about it. So nonetheless, let's jump into the review. Let me just start by saying this. I was deeply moved by this film. I was a little bit worried that all of the hype that I was hearing about it, about how moving it is and how touching it is as a film, was going to be overhyped and that it wasn't quite going to reach that level of engagement. But I was completely wrong. It is such a hopeful film. This is a movie that moves you to your core. And I mean that literally. After the movie ended, I was in a state of reflection, reflecting on life and the beauty of life, but also the tragedies of life. But how do we navigate those elements that we have to walk through? I found it very compelling in the way that they explored this, because when the movie starts, it doesn't give you a whole lot of context. And even the plot line that I just told you the movie was for the intro of this video, that's giving you very little to work with. So I would say the best way to experience this film is to go in blind. I was completely taken away and carried away by the art of this movie and how intentional they put every piece of it together. They slowly reveal itself and the meaning of this movie to you throughout the course of the runtime. The movie is about an hour and 50 minutes, and it's a perfect runtime. It doesn't go too long in any sequences, it's not too short, but I really loved how they handled it because in a way it plays in reverse, but as it plays in reverse, it answers all of your questions that you have in the first act, or technically act 3. And they do it in such a way that felt very reminiscent of life, because you've probably heard the saying, as you walk through life, you're in situations that you question, I don't know the reason for this. I don't understand why I'm going through this. But as you continue walking through life, you can kind of look in retrospect and understand that's why I went through that. And so I found it deeply moving that this film handled it in the same way, where as the film goes on, it reveals more to you about the meaning, and it is deeply touching. It is impressive because this film is simultaneously heartbreaking and earth-shattering, but completely optimistic and relentlessly hopeful. And I found that dynamic, that balance, to be extremely impressive. I do not know how they managed to blend those themes together, because those are polar opposites, but yet they found a way to merge the two together so effortlessly. And I found that to be extremely incredible on the part of the direction and the cast. This entire cast is fantastic. I particularly enjoyed Chiwetel Ejiofor and his performance with Karen Gillan. They had really nice chemistry together, but their performances in particular, I absolutely adored, and it really elevated the experience. And the writing is fantastic too. I thought that the writing was so intentionally written, and you can tell that they put a lot of attention to detail in order to circle things back to complete it, and it was fantastic. Really, really incredible. Another great performance that we need to talk about is the lead performance of Tom Hiddleston. He was fantastic in this movie. He gives such a joyful and vibrant performance. He really is the heart of the film. Of course, the movie is called The Life of Chuck, so it's going to be tailored towards his character, but he really adds to that through his performance, and you can tell he's fully invested in this story and the messages and the themes that this movie is trying to portray. So I absolutely adored this movie. I don't know how else to say it, but you absolutely need to watch this movie. So with my thoughts out of the way, what's my rating? And I think you guys can guess where my rating is gonna go because I haven't said a single negative thing about this film. So that being said, The Life of Chuck, I am going to give it 5 out of 5 stars. This movie is funny, it's joyful, it's optimistic, all while it's hopeful in its heartbreak. It is very compelling. It left me in a deep state of reflection, joyful reflection, I might add, on life and the beauty of life and the meaning of life. And so I found this film to be very impactful, and I'm incredibly excited to watch this film again as soon as it comes out on Blu-ray. I highly recommend that you guys get out to the theater and watch this movie because it's extremely encouraging. And if you need a feel-good movie or a movie that puts you into a state of appreciation for life, this is a fantastic one to dedicate some time to watching. So please go and support this movie, support physical media when it comes out, buy the Blu-ray. You won't regret it. It's a great movie. So everybody, those are my thoughts on The Life of Chuck. Thank you guys so much for joining me and for watching this review and for tuning into the channel. I always appreciate you all. I pray that God blesses you all, and I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, whenever you happen to be watching this. Thank you guys so much. Take care.